we do a project, it's more or less like we make a baby. And so we find a way to put that DNA of that company, DNA of Natuzzi, and the DNA of us together.
Harmonious, but new, fresh. And it's a great reinterpretation of our DNA of Amazing Land.
Gray mass, your brain. Because that's the only material which really is going to make an effect for your experience. I mean, I don't specifically care about stone or wood or plastics. I care about what they do with my audience, and I'm really happy to be very free in which material I work with. And so I always try to use materials I never used. I'm not especially interested in new materials. I like all materials, like all techniques and new techniques. I'm free to choose whatever.
For me also was a great experience because we met there, we went to Puglia, we visited all your reality, your production and the materials and so on. In the countryside to get the fruits and veggies and connect with this labor type of idea. Of course, 2 wheels because first stability is better, but also this is a more the remembrance of the real truck with veggies and fruits. The one we saw in the little village, remember last time?
I'm Marcel. I'm a designer. I live in Amsterdam. I'm the designer of this wonderful hotel. We never did a project in Hong Kong, and so we want to make something which is really connected to the location where it is. We love this, the Moon Festival. Remarkable, beautiful story. It's a beautiful legend. There's these wonderful, iconic personas in this story, which we have created all over the hotel. An archer who saves the world by shooting 9 out of the 10 suns which violate with their power our Earth. Obviously he gets a reward, which is an elixir for eternity. He gives this elixir to his wife, who then, elixir just travels to the moon and stays in a balance with sun.
What about the carpet you saw?
Which of course comes also as beautiful because both carpets come really from the exploration of the natural elements of Puglia.
People, I guess, will be amazed on how an element of nature, which we don't want to really tell much about, became a product. How you and us will reshape.
We make an object that really is used around the world and is used in urban settings, but breeds that sense of nature, that sense of place, that sense of quality. One is about creating a revelation in design, a new identity for the world.
To be creative in interior design is really to go out there and find all the elements you need. Interiors are local, are very local, are rooted in the place. The beauty of being creative is going out there, explore everything you can, from art to architecture to culture to heritage to all the elements you can find in that place and bring them to our project, of course with a twist, with a new meaning, but still very belonging to the place.
Basically, every project starts really open because anything is possible. But if you think about the project, you narrow down what is the real opportunity in a situation, and it really depends on the client you work for, the budgets there are, the place where it has to go, and all this stuff. And so, I mean, at the end, design is not like ultimate creativity. It's not like you just do anything. Design is, and I have to do this without this microphone. I mean, design is being creative in a very, very narrow spot and see huge space in that really little spot. She becomes moon goddess. There she meets this wonderful rabbit who she sends out to Earth to take care of her husband, who she misses so much. The rabbit, you see it everywhere here because this is the place where probably her husband, the archer, will have his wonderful days if he's happy enough to be here. So ultimately, you know, this rabbit is living here. The big lanterns which you see in the lobby area, every lantern has one of the three most iconic elements of the Moon Festival. Once every day, in the first lantern, the moon pops out. Once every full moon, the second lantern, the rabbit pops out. And then only once a year, all three personas pop out from the lantern, and we celebrate at that point the Moon Festival, which gave name to this wonderful hotel.
Everything embeds a little message, a little story. We went to the sea and we picked sea urchin, and this sea urchin became our vases. We went to boats and the wood of the boat became our tables. And so all this beauty again of the territory and heritage.
I think that's cool for us to not do the same as what we do with other companies, but to do something unique with a unique company. And I'm really happy that we were able to do that. I'm sure we're going to surprise people with that outcome. And some people might even be very happy with it.
They will.
You never know.
Stay tuned.
Stripe!
For
Now!
5, see?
Now!
Get some nice train for free.
Look at that shot.
Where product design is something you can look at, that has its own like little world. An interior is like an opera. It's a place where, you know, everything happens at the same time. There's light, there's costumes, there's story, there's sound, there's all of that. And I'm sitting in the dark looking at it. Now, interior design, in a way, of course, you don't capture so much of that person because that person has his own life. But even though that theater is all around him, he's now part of that show. He's on the stage. Now that is an amazing experience. That is an opera that you find in no opera. That is where designers are different than a lot of other creative fields. I mean, the scope of where you have to end up, where you have to be great in a small spot. You have to find a huge space in the smallest areas.
Nice shot. Well, I'm full of stripes. I believe nowadays a good interior is, or a good hotel, is somewhere, a place that leaves you something inside of you that you'll bring home with you.
You might forget what you saw, you might forget what you heard, what you smelled, but you will not forget what you felt when you were in a good space. I think if you open a door, you go into space, the first thing people do, and I do myself, you go to the window and you look outside. Throughout the hotel you will see all kinds of custom furniture. Most everything we designed for this hotel is custom, or we did it before but we altered it and we changed a lot about it. You see a lot of unique mosaic walls which were done especially for every room. There's a lot of peony flowers in them. You see them on a fantastic way in the corridors. I think the corridors became such a spectacular thing for the hotel. That we have brought together elements from my culture and from my personality, and elements from a Chinese culture or an Eastern culture, without bringing them together in a kind of unorganized way, but just bring them together in such a way that they strengthen each other. Ultimately, if you're staying in this hotel, the little secrets we have planned for you, you're going to find and you're going to discover what they are. There's a lot of unique little things to find in all corners, so use your eyes, use your time, because there's a lot to see.